All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Sunday Night Charts with Jim of All Trades. Good to see you. Welcome to the channel, guys. My name's Jim. I'm a crypto trader, and I'm here to help you understand the market from an Elliott Wave perspective. Guys, I'm an Elliott Wave expert. I use Elliott Wave in my analysis and kind of get a sense for where the market might be heading looking at the wave structure. There was a guy named Elliott back in the early 1900s that found patterns of fives and threes, guys, fives and threes in the market. We look at those fives and threes, put them together in known patterns, and see if we can figure out what's going on. Last week, we called the bearish outlook. There was bearish wave structure. We talked about it, and we got the dump we were looking for. Now, the question is it going to continue? Is it going to continue dumping? Right now, we're getting a bit of a pump. It's really, in my opinion, is more of a CME pump. Market was coming back to where the CME closed, so price can continue doing what it's going to do. We'll talk about that and much more tonight here on Sunday Night Charts. So welcome to the channel. Glad to see you. Hey, not as many in the queue tonight starting. I'm not sure what's going on with everybody. It is August, so middle of the summer. People doing stuff with family and stuff. What's up, Alexandra? Good to see you. How are you doing? Thanks for checking in. And Salvador, what's up? All right. Well, with that said, not many saying hi to me this morning, but not this morning, this evening, wherever we are in the night. But yeah, good to see y'all, and I'm sure some will join as the night moves on. So let's jump into the analysis. Don't forget, guys, don't confuse anything I say tonight as financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy looking at the charts with you every Sunday night and telling you what I think. So with that said, let's jump in. What's up, Jordan Levy? What's up, buddy? Hope you're well. All right, let's look, guys. We're getting a pump here. What is this pump? Let's first off zoom out just a little bit and say, okay, what's going on in the macro, and what is the wave structure that we're looking at? There we go. All right, so it's not invalid yet, but it's not my favorite count anymore, but we're going to still hold on to it here, and we're going to call this an ABC as the B wave of a much larger flat. Now, I'm not convinced that this is the proper way to interpret things, but we're going to consider it as a possibility and a plausible possibility for now, okay? So I think that's possible and plausible, but we'll see. But we're talking three waves as a flat to the upside, taking out the highs, and then now we're coming down for C, and this is the beginning of the C wave. It began with an impulse, a very small impulse, with a flat to follow, and now we've broken out. Okay, we're currently retesting that breakout. We're going to hopefully, and we're bouncing off this trend line as well, hopefully going to break back down to deeper. Come down here to the daily 200 moving average, hit 100K is probably the first stop. I would imagine that's going to be wave 1 down to this range here, pull back to wave 2, 3, 4, and 5, something like that to 50K is what I would expect to see on a if that count is right. Now that's again, it's not going to take that exact shape. It's hard to tell you how something is going to impulse. I might have drawn this too big, these pullbacks too big. I don't know. But I'm here to tell you that is on the table as a possibility, and that's one bearish count. What I like to do is if I look at something bearish, I want to turn my eyes upside down and say, okay, no, look at it from a bullish perspective, make myself kind of say, okay, what could this be as a bullish perspective? Well, I mean, I don't have a great count of this wave. I really don't, but this could be some kind of a local three-wave pullback that is now getting ready to pump to the upside a larger wave. Now, that's, I think, what market makers want you looking at right now. Say, hey, look here, you got a perfect three-wave shape, boom, boom, boom. Let's go, okay? It pulled back to the breakout area. It's finding support on a trend line, on the daily trend line. So hey, there's all kinds of reasons to like this pump. Let's go. And I think it's not a bad idea to trade it that way. But you missed your buy zone. Now you didn't miss it totally, but you missed the ideal buy zone. where you have limited risk here. You should have had the trend line drawn on your screen. Boom, just like so. And the moment it tagged it and started waffling there, that would have been a good buy. And to hold, so and to see if it's going to go. So hey, is this going to go? I don't know. I'm not here to tell you what it's going to do. I'm here to talk about what it could do, right? Now, when I'm looking at this wave structure, let's say, okay, what do we got going on here? Well, the way I'm interpreting this is a 3, 3, and a 5. That's a flat, okay? That means we have an impulse here. There's wave 1. This is wave 2. The way I'm looking at this is that we're in a wave 3, okay? This looks like an impulse wave. That looks like 5 waves. That means this needs to be 5 waves. This is not a 5-wave shape. Okay, because that's not a 5-wave shape. I'm personally, my belief is that we're going to go lower. This is actually a flat pullback back to the 4-hour 200 moving average. It's back to the breakout level, back to the CME gap, where CME closed on Friday. And let's see if we can now roll over and make our way down for some more waves. That's the way I'm looking at that wave, to be honest with you. Why am I looking for more? Because if this starts with 5, it needs to end with 5, and this is not a 5-wave shape. That's just not a shape that I expect to see as a 5-wave structure. Okay, let's analyze a 5-wave structure just so you can understand what I mean, and then I'll talk to you why I'm expecting lower targets. A 5-wave structure looks like this. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, something like that. That's what a 5-wave structure looks like. Okay, let's look at it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There it is. That's a beautiful, gorgeous 5-wave structure. Okay, had a nice complex 3-wave ABC back, and now we're looking for 5. Well, what do we got? What do we got here? Well, we got a leading diag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You could argue that's a leading diag. You got a really nasty little 3-wave move here. Boom, 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 right there. Pullback. Okay. And now what do you got? Well, you got impulse. So this is a 1. That's a 2. We're in the middle of 3. Okay. So I'm calling this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the third. 4, 5. So that's kind of what I'd expect to see based on this wave structure, small time frame. So that's small time frame ideas. I'm personally looking for this to roll over and come. Now, it doesn't mean it has to roll over and come down. I'm telling you that if this is a 5-wave structure here and I'm looking for 5 here, I don't have it yet. And the wave structure I'm looking for is more down. Okay, so that's the way I'd read this. And that's the way I would think about it. So my bias as a trader would be down. Based on these wave structures that I'm seeing. Okay. Looking at the RSI, you'll notice here on the 1-hour chart, we've got massive hidden bearish divergence. We got a pull back to the RSI to overbought. Okay. It created an upward slope here, took out this peak right here on the RSI, but price was nowhere near it. That's what we call hidden bearish divergence. Okay. So there's hidden bear on the 1 hour. So that's another reason why I tend to be bearish here. We pulled back to the breakout zone. We have a 3-wave structure. We've got RSI finishing. So for me, there's all kinds of reasons to say, hey, let's consider a short here. Especially since this was an impulse and I don't have an impulse here yet. Now, what other kind of impulse could this be? If this wants to come up higher like so and then roll over, then we got some kind of a diag 5-wave move. Then you've got 5, 3, 5. Then we can say, okay, we got 3 waves. Maybe we're done. And maybe we go up to the upside. So that's my take on this wave. It doesn't mean I'm right, but that's my take on it for now. That's the way I'm thinking about it. All right. Now let's have contingency plan. Let's say, okay, what could this be if it's not a flat? Because I'm kind of looking at this thinking, okay, there's 3, there's 3, and there's 5, and that's kind of a weird looking flat, and it may not be a flat. That may be a wave one, okay? In other words, you could argue that this was a fifth wave right here, right there, and that this is the beginning of something new, looking for just some kind of small three-wave pullback and then continuation to the upside, okay? That would be what I would expect to see if this is bullish, okay? I'd like to see a very small pullback that doesn't take a lot of this back, maybe comes back down to the 15-minute 200 moving average there. That would be a nice pullback area, and then launches back to the upside. Doesn't have to go straight up, but it could start slowly moving up. That's a bullish scenario I could see. That's if this is some kind of wave 5 of this larger move, okay? Now, it's a small time frame wave 5, but nevertheless, that could be it. I'm looking at this thinking, I got a 3, potentially 3, and this is 5. I got a nice wave 4 here. I got a 4, 5 of wave 3. Then I got a 4. I'm working on 5 now. Maybe one more hit to the high. Maybe not. But this looks like a nice finished move. So I expect it to come down to this area, pull back deeply, and then roll over in the morning sometime. Would be my guess. Now, it could take a lot longer than that to play, or it could go a lot faster than that. But that's the way I'm looking at that small time frame. That's if it's bearish. Now, if we're bullish, okay, if we're bullish and we say this was a three-way pullback back to the trend line, what do we got? Well, we'd have to interpret this first wave as a three-wave move, okay? And then we got 3 there, and then we'd have to interpret this as 3, and it's finished. And this is the beginning of an impulse. You get a small pullback and continuation, pullback, continuation. Now, it doesn't mean it has to go straight up to the moon from here, but it could go up and then roll over and come down and then go up. There's any number of things it could do. But that would be one way to look at this as a three-wave move. So that's trying to stay as neutral as possible, saying, okay, what if you're wrong in your interpretation, Jim? I know you believe what you believe when you look at the wave, Jim. I'm talking to myself here, but I believe what I believe when I look at the wave, but nevertheless, the market can do whatever it wants to do. So you got to get ready for contingency plans. What if this is some kind of finished three-wave shape here, then what can I expect it to do? Well, I mean, just small pullback, continuation. Maybe it could be a deep pullback as long as this low is held, and then continue up. All right. Again, I'm not biased to that particular count, but because that's not what I gravitate to, I suppose. But nevertheless, that could be in play. And we might be a lot more bullish than I give us credit for, and we may be going to that 145K mark that we've been talking about. We talked about for quite a while back when we were dreaming about how high it could go, back when price was in the 30,000, and saying we were talking 100K, possibly 145K for my highest target. Okay. So there it is. That's the quick analysis of the small time frame and the large time frame. It's really pretty easy to think about right now. You could narrow all the choices down to up or down. Okay, if it's up, all right, I'm expecting it to go impulsively to the upside. More than likely, it's going to impulse to the upside and take out the high, something like this. And this could be some kind of a wave 4. We get a wave 5. Or just this could be some kind of wave 2, and then we're getting ready to get some bigger impulse. I don't think that's the case, but listen, I've been wrong before, and I'll be wrong. I can be wrong again. This looks much like this looks like a finished wave. It looks done, but the wave has to tell us it's done. All right, let's just take a peek here at a previous wave that's done very similar things. Okay. If you'll notice right here, we'll go to the 6-hour chart here. There we go. You see the wave structure a little bit better. You see a very similar wave developing, don't you? You had an impulse off the top. Then you had a flat right in here. There was a flat followed by a move down. But then we had a deep move back to the upside, retesting the breakout, okay? And even higher. And then it rolled over, kind of went sideways, corrected, and then continued down. All right. So that is the way this wave proceeded. And you'll notice that we have a very similar structure here going on right now, where I wish I could get them both in the frame here. Let me get rid of this. There we go. So we got impulse, flat, impulse, okay? Impulse, flat. We don't have an impulse. That's the problem. This isn't finished. This did not complete. It's not done. So my take is that this is going to probably roll over and continue down, which, you know, that's going to start breaking trend lines potentially. And, you know, it's going to potentially, you know, retest this trend line, break it, and continue. So I'm bearish. I think it's going to continue. To speak to my title, I think the price is going to continue to the downside based on that wave structure. But here's what I would do as a contingency plan to watch the chart and know when to let go of that bearish idea. We're gonna start getting a lot more bullish if this trend line right there gets broken to the upside. If that gets broken to the upside, we're gonna really be like, you know what, I'm pretty bullish now. When that now, it doesn't mean it doesn't mean enter a trade right away at the break. It just means that when that breaks, your bias has to change a little bit. Your bias has to say, hey, this is more bullish than I gave it credit for. This is not just a little pullback and continuation. This is a reversal, okay? Here's a couple of times when price did that. Right here, this started going down, and then you had this little wave here. It came up, and then it hit this trend line and broke it. When it broke it, it's telling you, I'm pretty bullish. It continued. You had to pull back to that breakout and then continuation. Okay, so if you get something like that, pull back and then continuation, that you get bullish on the break of that trend line. Okay, now things can double up and things can get more complex. You'll notice right here, you had a trend line break. Boom, it pulled back to the break and then continued down, made a lower low. So it wasn't as bullish as. But it does, when that breaks, it was bullish for a while, and it lets you at least understand that, hey, things are looking not as bearish as they were until the market proves otherwise. All right. Now, what's interesting here is that sometimes Bitcoin likes to double up nasty corrections. So that flat I was talking about right here, A, B, C. There's a chance, okay? There's a chance that here, A, B, C, yeah. This is 3 waves right to here. And this is actually going to turn into 5 waves. So we got A, B, C, and we come back up here as a flat. Now, that would be a nasty move, and it would appear like a 3-wave and then a reversal back to the upside. But that's a potential that you have to consider as a possibility. That would be an awesome liquidity grab and a nasty move that the market could make. Okay, that would be followed by downside movement. And I can see that as a real strong possibility and something to really consider and to pay attention to. So I'm going to offer that as something you should consider. I'll show you XRP as well, which might be doing something similar, where you have a 3-wave move here. We could call this 3 waves, and then you can get a 5-wave move to the upside like that. I don't think that's planned, but it totally could. This might also in XRP be a flat right here, just like that, which would follow more down. It would just be basically an intermediate wave in this system, and then more down to come. All right, so this is my nasty count. If this starts impulsing to the upside, it doesn't, and that trend line gets broken, it doesn't necessarily mean we're going to make all-time highs. This could go up fast and furious, come up here, take out the liquidity, and then roll over and come down. And that would be nasty, nasty, nasty. And I see that as a real possibility, and I want to warn you about that possibility. Let me take a little sip of my drink here, and we'll continue in just a minute. How you guys doing? All right. Let's look at Ethereum here and see what Ethereum's doing, and try to do some chart correlations here. All right, what's happening here with it? What is the count here? How do we interpret this wave? Well, I'll be honest with you, it's a really, really hard wave to interpret to some degree. The reason for that is because you have this really, really big wave right here. Okay, you say, okay, what is that? What in the world is that? How do you count that? Well, that could be a wave 1 to right here, and a wave 2 to there, and that's it. That's a 1-2. But the other thing it could be an A, B. A, B. And this could be C. And that has 5 waves, and it looks like it could be complete. Or this is a wave 4. We're going to get a spike to the high, wave 5. So that could be a 1-2, and this is into the wave 3. Or this could be an A, B, C, which is going to be followed by more downside. Okay. So which one do you think it is? There is hidden bullish divergence here on the 8-hour chart. There's hidden bull all over that chart. Big time hidden bull. Let's take a peek at it right here. Well, it's exaggerated bullish divergence. Boom, boom, right there. There you go. A 4-hour chart has hidden bull. The way that hidden bullish divergence gets taken out is it comes down and takes a new low. Okay, so that hidden bull can get taken out. It just boom, corrects, and then goes down lower lows. All right, looking at the wave structure, does it look finished? Does it look like it's done? Yeah, it kind of does. Yeah, on XRP, it gives the illusion of something done. One, unless this is a 1-2-1-2. And if that's a 1-2-1-2, we got some major downside coming. So there's 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, you're going to start seeing it doing this trick. Major downside coming if that's a 1-2-1-2. But if that's simply 3 waves down, 3 waves up, okay, 5 waves down, it's finished. This is reversal. Get a very small pullback, continuation. That's kind of where we are, guys. That's it. I mean, that's the dichotomy of what the chart's doing. So, Bitcoin, are you a flat? Is this a flat right there? Oh. Boom, boom, boom. Or is this some kind of wave 1? You get a small pullback, and we go on up. I'm kind of watching out for this count here, to be honest with you. I'm kind of watching out for that bullish count back to the upside. That larger flat really resonates with me as a strong possibility for a liquidity grab here. Because then basically what you've got here is, see, W, X, Y, and now we're getting 5 waves to the upside, a C wave. That count resonates with me quite a bit, but it doesn't have to be that. Because that's just nasty. That's a nasty, nasty move, especially since we broke this level. But there's that larger trend line again. This larger trend line that we found support, and if this goes up and breaks that, it's going to look like it's broken out and going to the upside. Okay. Yeah, it could take the all-time high, but it shouldn't because the first wave was an impulse wave. Okay. In other words, the first wave here was impulse. Okay. So we need an impulse to match it, and we don't have that yet. We don't have an impulse yet. So we need that impulse as the third wave. So either this continues as an impulse wave, okay, or this comes up, takes out liquidity, and then we get the impulse wave to match the first wave. But that's my take. Does it have to do that? No, it doesn't have to. But normally, the way we look at wave structure, it needs to match. It should match. It normally does match. All right, let's take a peek at XRP for a moment. So what is XRP doing? Well, I think first off, when I look at XRP, I was looking at this, and this was looking awful three-wave-ish, right? Looked like a beautiful three-wave. Hey, let's go. Let's continue to the upside, right? No, it didn't do that. It gave you a three-wave pullback. Now, here's the problem with XRP. You have this three-wave move here. Great. You got a three-wave pullback. Fine. Okay, I need three waves to match to be, if it's going to be corrective, I'm looking for something to kind of match that wave. Well, I don't have that. This isn't three waves, okay? This doesn't look, let me just say, it doesn't look like a finished three waves to me. Could it be? Yeah, I mean, yeah, I could. But it just doesn't look like a great wave structure. But nevertheless, this could be some kind of a WXY. WXY. All right. My bet is that instead of that, we're probably doing something like this right here. Okay. Maybe something similar where we got, some kind of an initial wave down, a pullback, down, a pullback, down, bigger pullback. Okay. Something like that. That this is probably coming down here. Retesting. Remember when XRP moves, generally, the pattern is when you ever go straight up, it generally comes back to its initial point. Now, wouldn't it be interesting if we did it as a flat? Boom, boom, and then boom. Which would mean down, down, down. All right, so that would be a big fake out for XRP. So that's the bearish look. What's the bullish look for XRP? I mean, we really don't have any wave structure like this anywhere on the chart. Nowhere. Where you have the same kind of thing, except if that's a three-way pullback to its breakout, then okay, let's pop and keep rocking. Pop and keep rocking, baby. Let's go. So what you're going to want to watch for XRP is the break of the trend line. Okay, now right now it's retesting that trend line. In fact, it's threatening to break it. It can break it if it wants to, and just because it breaks it, it doesn't necessarily mean it is, because right now we're at a major point of resistance. Okay, See that major point of resistance? We got a trend line this way, and we have horizontal resistance there. So it could impulse up and out, but remember, whenever historically, whenever some XRP moves that way, it generally comes back an equivalent, at least 60 to 70%, okay, in a relative straight line, okay. If you'll notice, like for instance, see how this thing went straight up? Well, look at it. We came all the way back, okay. So the historical chart pattern of XRP is when it goes straight up, it likes to come all the way back. Okay, so I'm really watching for, and I say all the way back, at least 70%, 60%, 70%, something like that. I mean, here's a couple of examples here, right? So boom, straight down. Well, it came all the way back pretty quick, but then it even took out the origin, right? This went straight up, it came all the way back, okay? This thing went straight up, it came all the way back, all right? So that's normal price action for XRP. So we got to see if this flat is going to play out in Bitcoin, this nasty flat that I'm talking about tonight, the nasty market maker flat, or if this is going to roll over and come down here. This wave, the current wave that we're in, very much looks like this right here. It's just a smaller version. It's a smaller version of it. So we could see some kind of sideways motion and then up and then boom, down we go. Or we could see this thing come on up here. I'm kind of biased to the downside. Again, I'd like to see it break sooner than later. I'd love to see it tonight work its way down, retest, and then continue down. Something like that. That's what I would like to see. Keep it simple. Okay. So that's kind of my analysis here, guys. It is up or down. I don't have the answers, but I am still bearish. I'm not bullish. Even with this pump, I'm personally not bullish, but I'm prepared for the bullish scenarios. And I can trade, I trade both directions all the time. So it doesn't matter to me. I don't have a horse in the race. Okay. But looking at this wave structure, I think we're at a key moment in time. And we want to watch out for shenanigans. And I told you, I showed you a wave count that I think you need to watch out for. Okay. So don't just assume, okay, boom, boom. Don't just assume if you see a straight up wave going this week back up here that it's going to go to the moon. It doesn't have to. It could just be up and then all of a sudden turn over and come down. So watch out for a play like this. That's very possible. It's even very plausible. I don't know if it's going to happen or not. It may have already done that with that previous flat. So, but I've noticed they've been doubling up these corrections. But this looks like a flat here, right there. So that may be finished, and that may be the nasty wave. And now we got a leading diag, a pullback, and this is just a 3-wave, and we're going to roll over and come down. That's what I would like to see. That makes it simple. It keeps the wave moving, but we'll have to see how it develops. Okay, I can see it developing several ways. Sean, I don't know if we're crashing to zero, man. I don't know. I don't think the U.S. government stands to benefit if Bitcoin goes to zero. However, I do see a potential for Bitcoin to go to 50K again. But it's going to take, it would take 6 months to a year for that to happen. So the price action isn't going to go there immediately. I think we could be looking at some downward trends. So what you want to watch is this trend line right here. That's a key trend line. Are we going to bounce? Okay. So are we going to bounce here and go up? Okay. Or are we going to roll over and go down? I think that market maker play that I shared with you just now, where this is actually a B wave and we're now getting a C wave to the upside, it's going to look like it's bouncing off this trend line, going up, impulsing to make a new high, okay? And it just rolls over and comes down, okay? Now that, again, that's going to take, for that to go up, what I just drew right there is going to take, that's a week worth of price action right there. That's a week or more of price action of straight up bullishness, okay? Now, I think that's a real plausible count, and I think that could happen here. So if you see it going kind of straight up, you know, without very many pullbacks at all, guys, I would really consider when this thing fizzles out, selling your Bitcoin there, getting ready for being in cash or USDC, and so you can buy back at lower prices and multiply your Bitcoin, or at least sell some of your position. Or if you're trading, look for shorts. So I think that's a real possibility. Now, if it goes up more in a nice wave structure, then we might see those all-time highs. But if it kind of moves with a straight-up pattern and gets everybody FOMOing, then red flag, boom. If this thing just rolls over tomorrow and comes down, okay, that's more bearish. I would watch for a retest, but that's more bearish. So that's where I've landed, guys. That's kind of what I'm watching. What charts you want me to look at real quick? I'll be glad to look at some charts for you tonight. We'll keep this one a short live stream since, I'm getting the information out pretty quick. What would you like me to look at? Go ahead and put it in the chat, and I'll go ahead and see if I can get those looked at real fast. Let's see. Zero volume coming in for XRP, and it's pumping. That equals alarm bells. Yeah, absolutely. S&P 500 and the Dow. Okay, let's look at the SPX here. The S&P, the SPX. What's up, Kimo Sabi? All right. The DXY, guys. Now, I see something in the DXY that's interesting. I thought I'd share it with you. I see this as a real possibility of it's got to finish a little bit, but going back up, making higher highs. That's an interesting scenario. I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if that's definitely going to play like that, but this totally looks three-wave-ish here. Wouldn't be surprised to see the DXY pop to the upside. This would precipitate a sell-off of Bitcoin, okay, back into the dollar. Sell-off of the markets even. So markets start popping, dollar goes up. So that's the DXY. That's a potential. Or this thing could keep kind of rolling over and break this trend line and come on down, right? But this is looking awful three-wave-ish here. Much like this one right here. Boom. And then. Phew. Do we get a decent correction this month in S&P? Okay. So here's the 2-week chart. Let's look at the daily. What if this just plays around here and then goes up again, But yeah, that would be a bearish month probably for sure. This could get boom and then boom, and we might be coming into the latter part of this year as is real bearish. That we're going to be getting a topping formation here soon in the S&P. That was a nice pullback. It gapped pretty good. Yeah, I would expect it's kind of rolling over, but it doesn't mean it can't go up and make a new all-time high this week. It could do that. It could still do that. So, hard to tell. Well, the market crash that's coming, Sean, is going to do that. There's a market crash like you've never seen coming, and it's crazy. Let me look at XRP here for a moment. I want to see what this wave shape is. All right, got a nice wave developing there. Oh, it's I don't know if it's crashing, but it's definitely starting a little bit of a wave here. So it's come straight up. So this is probably gonna. I think this wave is getting ready to get taken all back. Yeah, that'd be fun, wouldn't it? Because I'm short in XRP right now. But I'm cautiously short because I do see that bullish nasty move to the upside here for Bitcoin. Man, I can see it. I can see this thing. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, that would be so bad. That would be so nasty. So, all right. So S&P, yeah, S&P. I don't see any. You know, this is a good sign, but you know, it's hard. S&P is really hard because I mean, boom, it has a tendency to pop back up. Yeah, yeah. I don't know if you saw my chemo. I see your sentiment is pretty bare here. Yeah, it is. I don't know if you saw this nasty market maker count, but this would be one of the nastiest fake outs I've ever seen because of this trend line right here and the fact that it's bouncing. If it comes up here, everybody's going to think it's going to the moon, and then boom. That would be so nasty. All right, let's see. What else did somebody want me to look at? Dot. Let's look at Dot. And I saw my boy Keith pop in. What's up, dude? I'll look at Link for you as well if you want me to. Let's look at Dot. I haven't looked at Dot in ages. Dot looks like it's dying. I mean, Is everybody waiting for Dot to go to the moon now? Is it going to go to the moon? I mean, what do you do with this? I mean, you hope it goes. Is Dot a project that's going to be used? I haven't heard about Dot in a very long time. If a crypto winter comes like I'm expecting, if Bitcoin crashes, it's going to kill off a bunch of these alts. And some of these projects are just going to die. The market needs to be culled off. It really does. Some of these projects need to go, and the liquidity needs to be taken out of all these various stupid projects, and then it needs to pump all the projects that are going to be pump all the projects that are going to be actually worth something. Okay, that the banks are going to use, that have real viability in the future. So I don't know much about DOT. I know it had a lot of hype back when it came out. So I don't know, but that's what needs to happen. The money that's in some of these trash coins need to get sold off and then moved into the ones that are going to actually have real value and real viability for the digital world to come. So I think that's coming. So I think a Bitcoin crash would bring all these alts that are just hanging around the bottom like DOT and all these other alts and just bring them to zero. And then the money would move out of them, okay, and into other viable. And so we'd see the market cap moving to the projects would die off. We would, start to thin out the projects that we can trade, and then all of a sudden, the money starts. That's when XRP starts pumping, Ethereum starts pumping, and all the excuse me, all the projects that have real viability. So yeah, I'm. If you want to trade on a small time frame, if you want to risk some money, this is where you buy DOT, right? This is an area where you buy DOT, but I'd like to see it break. I'd like to see it break a trend line here. So here's a trend line you could have on your chart. If it breaks that to the upside, that's good for a move. That's good for a move to the upside. So watch out for that. And then I think if it breaks this particular trend line right there, that's even double bull. Okay. You can see that it's already broken. It broke this one here, but it made a new low, so that no longer is real valid anymore. So right now, we've broken up. If we break that one right there, that's a good time to think about buying. DOT for a move to the upside, but man, other than that, there's not much I can say about DOT. So. All right, what else did people ask for here? Hope that helps you, Adil. Hussein? You want to look at gold for a minute, guys? Let's look at gold. I'm so bullish on gold and silver. It's crazy. I'm looking for my chart and I can't find it. There it is. Gold. Yeah, that looks great. This looks great. See this wave right there? Kind of sideways and up. I'm waiting for this thing to just kind of ride to the upside. That looks great. Silver back to 36. Yeah, well, let's go. Come on. Hold this area and let's go. I think silver's going to pump up the jams. Let's see. What other charts can we look at? Hey, Mr. Hugo, let's look at VET, man. VET is kind of like DOT. Is it going to die or is it going to pump here? Is it getting ready to go to the moon or is it about ready to die? Is VET a viable project? Is it one of those projects that's going to make it or for the future? I mean, it's developing. Let's see what we got here. That's a little local break there. But we haven't broken that trend line, so we're staying in the trend down for now. It's not broken out. This looks very much like a flat 3. Two ways to count this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, or we're in the middle of 4. This is getting ready to come down, and we have a 5 yet to be made up to the higher trend line, and then down we go after that. Epsilon, is that how you spell it? Is that something different than DOGE? All right. Jordan Levy wants CRV. Let's look at CRV. Okay. CRV has a very, very 3-wave-ish look to it right here in the 4-hour. Boom, boom, boom. It looks very done, very finished. And it looks like we're in the first wave of a move to the downside. Boom, boom. This looks like a 3-wave pullback that's going to roll over and come down again. That's my take on CRV. Looking at that small time frame, this little wave that we're in right now. This gives the impression of a flat. This may have a little bit more upside, may not. Came back up to the breakout zone. It broke out right here. Boom. There you go. It's come back out. So CRV looks bearish to me. It looks like it's got to come down more for sure. This is 3 waves. Might get moving a little deeper. Okay, CRV. Leading diags, Vinny, lead something. So they generally don't happen. So if there's a leading diag, like for instance, where's the diag that you're thinking it's starting? What time frame? Metallicus loan. Yeah, I can do that, Adrian. Give me the chart name, please, so I can find it. Let me know, Vinny, on the time frame of that diag, so I can look at what you're talking about. All right, let's see. SOL. Let's look at SOL. Yeah, I mean, look at this. So this has a 3-wave shape. Boom. 1, 2, 3. I think we're in 4, 5, and then down. So there may be some more upside coming here, guys. It's not guaranteed, but there could be some upside, more upside coming. Or this is A, B, C, and it's finished. Give me the chart name for Metallicus loan. Okay, Vinny. Hey, I love that you're trying. So glad you're trying to look at it. So leading diag. Remember, leading diags lead something. Okay. Leading diags also have to overlap. So they got to look like this. Okay, this is what a leading diag looks like. Okay, now what I just drew right here is an expanding leading diag, but you can also have a leading diag that looks like that. It's more contracting. It looks more like a wedge. Let me draw that a little bit bigger. There you go, something like that. So that's kind of a contracting leading diag, and here's an expanding leading diag. So, yeah, could we be in a wave 4? Probably not. Okay, this is in the fourth wave position. Okay, that looks like the size of a wave 4, and in the fourth wave position, you'll see the hidden bearish divergence. Hidden bullish divergence that we got. Then we got the lower high in the RSI, higher high in price. So there's your divergence you're looking for between wave 3 and 5. So this was probably wave 4. This is probably just the beginning of a larger impulse. Right now, it just often what you're going to see, guys, is off the top. It'll look like 3 waves. They'll come back up and then they'll roll it over and come back down. So that's to me what's going on here. I've got 2 ways that could play. Anyway, so yeah, that's a diag. So, for instance, the entire price history on the monthly chart of Bitcoin looks like a leading diagonal. Okay, so it looks like a big, giant leading diagonal. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and I think it could be finished. And now we start going down 3 waves, but it's not going to be deep. It won't be deep if that's a leading diag. We're just looking for some kind of 50K, 40, 50K, and then here we go. Okay, to the moon. XRP's looking good. We'll keep an eye on that guy. All right, so let's see. I looked at SOL already. This little wave structure, it looks the same on all the charts. It's going to be there's going to be exciting times. It could come pretty quick, but you're going to see it's not going to happen in a day, or even a week. It's going to be a slow bleed for the next 6 months, probably, is my take. You'll see days of pretty nasty movement, but you'll see pullbacks. Sean. And those pullbacks will take time, weeks, many times. It'll hold price in a range for quite a while before it continues. Okay. Let's see. SUI. Oh, excuse me. Let's look at SUI real quick. Epsilon, what's wrong? Did I forget you? Oh, Doge. Yeah, my bad. Let me look at SUI real quick, and then I'll get you with Doge. I mean, yeah, this is nasty. That looks like a flat, but this is complex. That's a complex wave. Kind of looking for it just to correct down and maybe continue back. I don't know. Keeping an eye on XRP here. Let me look in the daily for SUI here. Yeah, that's a tough chart right there. One, two, three, four, five. Okay, fine. Now what? What is that? Is it part of a flat? Is this part of a zigzag? A, B, and a C with a truncated C? Because you got 5 waves in C as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. In which case, there's a zigzag pullback. You had an initial wave down. Oh, sorry. You had an initial wave down. You had a zigzag pullback. Now we're going again. Look for a pullback and then continuation. So the way I'd be looking at that is basically A, B, C. Coming down here. There will be pullbacks, but looking bearish. That's my take. Now, if I'm wrong, if this rocks to the upside like so, then that changes the look of the chart. That could still be an ABC, and then we still come down, okay? Or this gets a bit more bullish. So tough wave structure to nail down there. That's SUI. All right. That's hilarious, Sean. You're worse than Merle. All right, let's look at Doge, DOWGE. Same thing. Looks a little bit more bullish. The way this is rolling over, it kind of appears like it's going to go pop again to the upside there. So this might have a little bit of down and then pop back to the upside, but that looks like it wants to pop to the upside whenever this wave is finished. So maybe when it gets oversold here, look for another hit to the high, maybe. Doesn't have to, but it kind of looks like it. It's just a guess, but that's the way that wave looks. Whenever, come on, man. I don't see. Yeah, that's the chart I'm looking at. Whenever I see this thing roll over, kind of rounded, it kind of gives the appearance of another pop. I can't be certain of that, but it certainly looks plausible, possible. Let's think here. I don't think anything's going to replace BTC. I think BTC is here to stay, and very few coins that have real utility are going to be around. But the main movement of the market is going to be stable coins and digital dollars. Basically, all this crypto space is doing is giving rise to the technology so that digital forms of the actual U.S. dollar can flourish. Okay, so we're not going to change the system of money. We're just changing it. We're just changing the form of that money. So we have the digital, we have the digital space carved out with Bitcoin and all these coins, but they've given credibility to the digital world. Now they're transferring all that money over to a digital dollar. Okay. Stable coins basically are going to be where it's at. So that's what we're headed to. I think all of this, Bitcoin could be the digital gold that backs all those dollars. So that seems to be the narrative, at least. Whether that actually plays or not, I'm not sure. Okay, did I hit? All right, ENA, Hunters, Crypto Hub, ENA. $15-minute chart. Yeah, I mean, this wave. You see that wave right there? Okay, this is the wave you should be expecting next. Okay, so I'd be looking to short this wave. Looks like it's close. This could totally break back to the upside a couple more times, but I'd be looking for that to the downside. Just could roll over and come down now. That's the way I would be trading it. But there might be more upside to come. Something like that. Hope that helps you there, Hunters Crypto Hub. Okay, Adrian, you still there, man? Adrian Guix Lang. I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to say your last name. Let's look at loan. So, Adrian, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what chart I'm looking at, dude. You called it Metallicus? Is that, or I'm not sure what I looked at. Let me find you. Dude, you gotta pipe in here, Adrian. Yo, Adrian! I did it! I just got to say something to my kid back home, to my wife. Yo, Adrian. I'm trying to do your chart, dude. You're nowhere to be found. You're probably behind in the live stream. Dag on it. Trying to help you, my brother, but you're nowhere to be found. All right, did I hit everybody's requests? I think I did. I think I hit everybody. I hope y'all enjoyed the live stream tonight. I am tired. I'm ready to be done. I've been working my tail off here in Michigan, I got to get back home to my family in Missouri, moving to Missouri next week. Not this week, but next week. Taking all my stuff. So, all right, guys. Well, listen, hope you guys, I'm bearish still, but watch out for that nasty move to the upside that I mentioned on my nasty count on Bitcoin. Watch out. Yeah, Hunter, definitely watch my, yes, there's definitely a possibility for that. Definitely watch the analysis at the beginning. I really go through the bearish scenarios very well. I got a nasty one, and we can just roll over now. I'd like to see it roll over now. I'd rather not see the nasty count, but it could happen. But I'm hoping it just rolls over and goes down now. So definitely watch that analysis for sure. But yeah, we could roll over and go down now. All right. Take it easy, guys. Good to see you, Stephen, Hugo. Calories. Take it easy. Glad that y'all are all here. And Adrian, I hope you catch up. Maybe you can message me on Discord or something, and I'll get you a chart best I can. Until then, good night, everybody, and see you next time. Bye-bye.